Lord Howe Island is an island off the coast of Australia in the Tasman Sea, and is regarded as the most beautiful island in the Pacific Ocean. A timeless natural paradise, the island is home to a number of resorts where people can come to relax and have an adventure, whether it be snorkeling in the ocean or hiking through the island. But what made the island it is today? By looking at its geomorphology, as well as its biogeography and climate, one can be given a sense on what makes the island the most beautiful island in the Pacific. First, let's go into the island's climate. The island's latitude and longitude coordinates are 31 degrees, 33 minutes south, 159 degrees, 5 minutes east. And as seen on the map, it is located in between Australia and New Zealand. The island has a subtropical maritime climate in which the seasons change gradually. The winters are cool and wet with even amounts of rainfall, while the summers are warm and mild with fairly high but less than regular amounts of rainfall. The relative humidity varies little throughout the year, generally being in the high 60s to 70s. Because the island is surrounded by the moderating effects of the ocean, it ensures the continuation of the moist, humid climate for it. The island has variable rainfall amounts, 1,000 millimeters to 3,000 millimeters yearly. As shown in the image to the right, during the months of June and July, rainfalls are the highest, ranging from 120 millimeters to 180 millimeters during these summer months. Most of the rainfall occurs as moderate to heavy showers and are not known for continuous rain. However, winter frontal systems can bring rain bands that may last for a day or more. Finally, the wave climate is highly variable, with large waves approaching from any direction. However, easterly swells occur in June to July, whereas southern swells dominate during the winter months, from November to March. When it comes to the island's geomorphology, it has an interesting past on how the island came to be. The island actually lies on a rigid continental crust called the Lord Howe Rise, and is a crescent-shaped island that is approximately 11 kilometers long, 6.84 miles long, and up to 2.5 kilometers wide, 1.55 miles wide. The island is actually a remnant of a large shield volcano that formed around 7 million years ago. Geologists believe that there were two main volcanic events that caused the formation of the island. Most of the volcanic activity took place some 7 million years ago and comprised of several volcanic vents that ultimately produced the large shield volcano. At about 6.3 million years ago, the main vent collapsed and left a huge oval-shaped pit, or caldera. As time went on, the volcanic material was being pushed up from beneath the Earth's crust to infill the caldera in a series of horizontal lava flows, and these events would eventually make the island what it is today. The two main geographic landforms that make up the island are its two peaks, Mount Gower, which stands at 875 meters high, and Mount Lydgeberg, which stands at 777 meters high. The two peaks are comprised of Mount Lydgeberg basalts, alkaline olivine basalts, and howites, which were formed by the horizontally bedded caldera fill that rose from the past volcanic eruptions. The center of the island is low-lying and mantled by fossil dunes of biogenically derived calcareous sands. The furthest northern geographic feature, the North Ridge, comprises of North Ridge basalt, which has been dated to be around 6.9 million years ago. Lord Howe Island has a vast amount of creatures and plants that make the island unique from anywhere else in the world. First off is the Lord Howe Island phasmid. This insect is a wingless invertebrate insect known locally on the island as the land lobster or the tree lobster. While these insects were once formerly abundant to the island, the black rats extirpated them in the early part of the last century, roughly around the 1920s to 1930s. The species was then thought to be extinct, until some freshly dead remains were found by hikers on Ball's Pyramid, a small islet off the coast of the island, during the 1960s. They tend to burrow in damp leaf debris during the day and emerge to feed on shrubs of Melaleuca howeana at night. Accounts of them on the island prior to their extinction indicated they were abundant, emerging at night to feed on the leaves in the canopy. During the day, it would secrete themselves inside hollows formed in the trunks of living trees, particularly those made by larvae of the large longicorn beetle. The adults are large, with the females being 120 millimeters in length and the males being 106 millimeters in length. The adults are a honey brown color with a white stripe down the side. Juveniles are bright green. The sexes are readily distinguishable. Males have longer and thicker antennae, greatly enlarged and spined hind femora, and a narrower abdomen that lacks the ovipositor, which are present on the female. The second animal that is only located on the island is the Lord Howe Island gecko. This animal measures about 80 millimeters in length, has a pale, olive gray to dark brown skin, with dark and light markings around its body. However, like the Lord Howe Island phasmin, this once thriving species has declined over the years since the 1930s, thanks to the arrival of the black rats to the island, and now occur only in relatively low numbers at a few localities on the island. Its habitat is restricted to behind Lagoon Beach and at the base of the Malabar Hill. It consists of honeycombed beach rock partially embedded in the soil, surrounded by the Howe palm forest, in which there are thick layers of humus formed by palm and other leaf litter. They dig holes 1 to 2 centimeters in diameter into the bedrock and tunnel deep into the matrix of the rock, forming large chambers to live in for protection. Their diet consists of beetles, spiders, moss, ants, and other variety of insects. They are also known to feed on the nectar of the sallywood flower, another native flora. Lastly, there is the unusual tree, the bion tree. It is a tall tree standing up to 20 millimeters in height, with the roots hanging from the branches, which occasionally touch the ground and form new trunks. Some trees can have up to 40 trunks or more. They are common on the island, particularly in the lowland parts, with some occasionally found in altitudes up to 500 meters high. The trees grow well on basalt or calcinerite soil and are pollinated by a species of fig wasp that are native to the island.